I was at work. It was very scary because my husband teaches there too. And I wasn't sure if they were going to come home.
I didn't know what it was. So then they said lockdown on the intercom. And I was like, what in the world happening? I was scared.
A day of heartache, a day of fear. Students and teachers put in danger. Law enforcement, first responders rushing in to help. But tonight, finally, a chance to reflect.
I come to you standing in the place of the thousands of parents who are hurting tonight, who are wondering, is school a safe place for my child?
And also for all of us, a chance to begin to heal.
Live from Dallas and Fort Worth, this is CBS 11 News at 10. The Ones for Texas.
Good evening, North Texas. I'm Doug Dunbar. It's good to have you with us tonight. First at 10 o'clock, today's school shooting, Timberview High School and Mansfield ISD. You've heard all about it. I want to get you caught up on the new information we have tonight. We're going to start with what happened, though, to lay the foundation. It all started with a couple of students. They began fighting in a classroom. This is some video from that early this morning. It is brutal to watch. This unfolded, the fight captured on a cell phone camera. The time was about 9:15 this morning. That's when the first reports of a shooting started to come in. A 15-year-old student we know and a 25-year-old male teacher were both shot. A female student said to be grazed by a bullet. Students and teachers, they were forced to hide, to take shelter, what we've become accustomed to. One teacher, in fact, posting this picture on Facebook while his class was on lockdown. Some students barricaded themselves in their classrooms using a bookshelf, chairs, and desks, anything they could find. The lockdown was lifted, and then the all clear was finally given just before 11 o'clock, and that is when the school began the long process of reuniting parents with their students who had been taken by bus to the Mansfield ISD Center for the Performing Arts. And then early this afternoon, police also identified the suspect, 18-year-old Timothy Simpkins. And he happens to be one of the boys fighting in that classroom video we just shared with you from earlier this morning. Grand Prairie police say that later they did find a weapon. Simpkins, they believe, used it in the shooting. It's a .45 caliber handgun. It was found in the street about 2 miles from the school. Just after 1 o'clock, Simpkins, we're told, then surrendered at Arlington PD headquarters. His bond tonight, as he sits in jail, sits at $75,000. He faces 3 aggravated assault charges in this moment. Tonight, our team coverage, as crews have been working through this night to bring you some new information as we go on the air. Caroline Vandergriff is live for us at Medical City, Arlington, where the shooting victims were taken to be treated for their injuries. Caroline, we'll start with the simple question. How are they all doing tonight?
Doug, one of those victims was treated for abrasions and was actually released this afternoon. 2 of the victims still in the hospital tonight with gunshot wounds. They are expected to be okay, though.
I want to lift up our prayer to the parents who are dealing with the fear of their children now.
A special service at Cornerstone Baptist Church in Arlington tonight.
It was a lot of emotions today.
To pray for the students and staff at Timberview High School, their families, the first responders who helped them today, and those injured during the shooting.
I knew everybody that was a victim.
Police say there were 3 victims sent to Medical City, Arlington today. A teenage girl who was either grazed by a bullet or hurt in the commotion is already home. A 15-year-old student who was hit by the gunfire is in critical condition in the ICU. Police say he had to have surgery for his injuries. A 25-year-old teacher, identified by his family as Calvin Pettit, was also shot, but is in good condition. His sister says the shooting didn't happen in his classroom, but Pettit came to help break up the fight and got hit. She says the bullet went in his back and barely missed his aorta. Pettit has some broken ribs and a collapsed lung and is expected to be in the hospital for a few days. He teaches English at Timberview.
Mr. Pettit, a very nice teacher. He's very encouraging. I just want him to come home safe like everybody else because we all got to return home and I want them to do the same.
Police say a 4th victim, a pregnant woman who likely fell during the incident, had minor injuries that didn't require a trip to the hospital. She was treated at the scene and released there. Live in Arlington, I'm Caroline Vandergriff, CBS 11 News.